Hi there. This video is going to be for Capricorn for the end of year 2022. I hope you're all doing well. It's been a busy year, and I hope that we can find some resolution. I think that's what's important for the end of the year here, is what have we been working on and how do we move to the next phase in our lives, right? Now, when I think about Capricorns, I think about stability with the career, with how other people perceive you, or thinking about how other people perceive you is definitely something Capricorn, they think a lot about. So, yeah, like I said, this reading's for the end of 2022. Let's see what we need to know here for Capricorn. All right, let's put those back. Let's do a little more shuffle. All right, Capricorn, here we go. All right, now I'm gonna walk through what I'm doing as I turn the cards over. All right, so this first row is gonna represent the past, everything basically that's happened leading up to this point for the year. Now we have some swords energy with some wands energy, more wands, we have the sun. All right. So definitely some repeating themes here. You have the Ace of Cups and Ace of Coins in your future on this side. And over here you have the Knights. You have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So that's interesting to see. So yeah, let me just go through this. This first row over here, the left row, on the left side, is going to be what's happened so far this year. And both the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands are very fast-moving cards. And it has to do with communication, and it has to do with inspiration, and how you're moving things that give you inspiration forward, and how you're moving your communication forward. Now, on the bottom here, you have the Seven of Wands, which is kind of the defending and protecting, something that you have that means a lot to you. And, you know, it sounds like if that's what you're doing, if you're trying to protect something, you're coming at it with a lot of strong energy in the past. And that can be okay, depending on what the situation is. But it could also hurt the situation if you're charging forward too much, because you really have to know what's best for the situation. But it sounds like through this year, you've been wanting to move, or you have been moving very quickly on something. And it has to do with how other people see you, see your relationship, or see your career. It's really interesting. I'm getting a lot of I'm getting this protection, like you have all these things coming at you, right? Words that people say, people's actions coming at you. And I know that the gut instinct can be to protect that which you find true. But that sort of energy can be challenging to the other people involved, because they might just be trying to help you see something. And when you have those walls up, when you're in that protection mode, you're not really willing to hear other people's advice. So that sounds kind of like what you've been dealing with this year. Now this next row is interesting because you have the Ten of Swords, which is the Sun in Pisces, and it's about really being able to see clearly what's not serving you emotionally anymore, and letting those things really just die. And it sounds like right now you're thinking about this a lot. You're thinking about what no longer serves you. Because now below this, I'm very curious about what this card is, because it's going to tie everything in. But below, at the bottom here, below the Ten of Swords, you have the Five of Wands, and it's next to the Seven of Wands here. So along with protecting something, you might be causing a little bit of strife between the people around you, because what I was saying when you're defending, when you're in that defensive protection mode, it can come across a little aggressive when you don't mean to be. And that's kind of what I'm getting with this card. This is Leo's card, which represents strength, right? But it's also it's ruled by Saturn, this card, and Saturn's about boundaries and knowing when you need boundaries. And it can be about maybe using too much strength or not using enough, or situationally, how are you using your power and your strength? Because you can cause fights, it can cause issues. So you want to be careful about that. And it sounds like what I'm kind of seeing here is that whatever's trying to die here, whatever parts of you are trying to transform and to change, is tied up with a lot of the wand energy. In terms of, when I think of, it's like your spirit, right? So you're defending your spirit. And it sounds like you're gonna stop doing that soon, because in the future, and I'm gonna go to this next row, which represents your future, you have the sun. This is another card of Leo, and it represents strength. I mean, look at this guy. He is very powerful, he's in his power, and he's also very clear about what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And he can, and it's like, if the Ten of Swords represents, the things that need to die for you to move on, then the sun represents just being able to see clearly what those things are. Not having that unsure feeling anymore, just knowing what they are. And this energy of the 5, either you'll go back to 1 and you'll have to start something over, or you'll continue on to the 6, right? Which is the victory. And I think the 6 is better if the situation calls for it. If you can find victory in the situation, that's great. And I think that you will, because the next cards are the Ace of Coins and the Ace of Cups. And this is really nice because it means that whatever clarity you're getting is causing these new things to come up to the surface, possibly things you've never felt before, because the Ace of Cups represents a new feeling, but also like it represents putting something new into the world that people are going to see. And this could be parts of yourself that you haven't shown the world before. And it's going to bring you a lot of love. It is. And I like that a lot for you, Capricorn. I really do. So let's see what this middle card is. Like I said, it's going to tie the whole reading together here, and it's really going to show you how this energy all kind of balances out. The Hermit. Now, I've got the Hermit's come up a lot. This is card number 9 in the Fool's Journey, and it represents, 9s represent kind of almost getting to a conclusion with something, because the card after the Hermit is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is about coming into realizing like what your destiny is in life. And that can kind of sound woo-woo, but really what I mean is like just getting in touch with yourself, right? And knowing what's good for you and knowing where you're headed and letting things happen rather than forcing things to happen. And the Hermit is about, it is the card of introspection, it's Virgo's card, but it's also kind of, you're gonna need to do this to get to this point of the Ten of Swords here, where you are actually letting things go. And you're gonna have to do this. This is some time away. Even in the busy season, finding time to reflect is important. Taking time to read something that you haven't read before, opening up yourself a little bit to your spirituality possibly, because this is definitely, the Hermit is both consciously and unconsciously aware of things, and they're able to use both of those parts of themselves. And that's really nice. So you're gonna need to really embrace a lot of this Hermit type energy right now. Now I wanna see what's on the bottom of this deck. It's gonna be your advice. And so let's just see what it is. Oh, the 10 of Coins. So the advice here is just kind of, so this is Mercury in Virgo, and Mercury is the planet that moves the fastest around the sun. So this can be fast moving energy of a conclusion of some sort, but a conclusion that you're very happy with. And I think that the advice here is go into your hermit mode. You have to do it, right? Because then you're going to see that you have a lot of things going for you. And there's no need to pressure the situation at all. You really just have to do a little bit of learning. And then what you're going to see is, holy crap, I have this 10 of Pentacles. I have happiness. I have completion. I can see where I am and what I'm doing, and that this is just how things are, you know? And that's great. I really like that. I'm going to pick one more card. This is going to be your moon card. We have a new moon in Sagittarius coming up, and we don't have any Sagittarian cards here. You know, the Knight of Wands, all these Wands cards, well, especially the Knight, can have a little bit of Sagittarian energy. And, you know, when I think of Sag, I really think about philosophy, yeah, and I think about learning. And so there's there's definitely a lot of that learning energy here, so makes sense. All right, let's see. This is your card right here. All right, Blue Moon, believe in the impossible. And this can be something tough for you Capricorns to kind of hope and have faith, and realizing that, you know, Capricorns, you know, your card is the devil, so negativity is definitely something you're very comfortable with, looking at things that way. But what happens when you believe what happens when you don't put resistance up to something and you just believe in it because you can feel it, right? So try that. See what happens. All right, Capricorn, it was a pleasure to do this reading for you. I hope you have a really great rest of your year. And I hope that I have some few more videos for you. This won't be the last one for the year. And stay tuned for that. Thank you, Capricorn.